Hey guys, welcome to today's show. I'm Sandra Younger. I will be your hostess for this episode of JTV Extra. We have this, I love it, the moose knot gone wild, because I tell you guys, this is one necklace where we're going to be using a lot of moose knots. And I will also give you some really great tips and tricks. I mean, they're little tips and tricks, but they like make a huge difference. And if you're new to this show, welcome. And if you are just to let you know that if you have never purchased anything on JTV Extra, let me show you something really cool. This is Brilliant Cash. So the first time you purchase anything, you will receive $40 in Brilliant Cash. And it is a credit that will be applied to your account. So next time you come back to buy something, you will get $40 off. So that is a fantastic deal. So if you want to buy a board, you could like buy something that's on today's show, and then maybe your next purchase, you could buy a Knotty-Do-It-All, or you could buy a Knotty-Do-It-All today and earn $40 in Brilliant Cash towards a future purchase. On your birthday, you get $20. The anniversary of your first purchase, $20. The Sparkle Ambassador Referral Friend, $25. You get $25. The person that you refer gets $25. You do get 1% back on all purchases, 2% with a preferred card. And get this, if you are a returning customer, after 365 days, you get, how much was it? Let me take a look. I forgot. Oh, $30. So that is a fantastic deal. I mean, there are so many ways to earn money just by like watching and shopping. Because if you think about it, if you're going to shop someplace else, they're not going to give you anything. But here, at least you get like perks. Let me see what else I have to say. Oh yes, the comment section. You can leave comments, ask questions, and I will try to like answer any questions and like reply to any comments. And if you like what you see or hear, we could try to like break the internet by hitting that love button. So that is much appreciated. And so let me talk about the products that are on today's show, and then we'll get to my favorite part, which is the customer slideshow. And you guys like sent in like, oh, wait till you guys see this. This is unbelievable. But let's talk about the products on today's show first. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about are these magnetic clasps. These are really interesting, and I'll show you a really cool thing about these. Okay, they have 3 holes, so that means you can make a tiered necklace. And it looks like there's like some kind of like coating inside, but if you just get a needle, you can just like poke it out. But these are really cool because this is like a dream magnetic clasp, because most magnetic clasps just they come together like this. This magnet is making me like, ugh. I mean, they go together just like this. But these guys, when you clasp it, it actually has that, oh my goodness, that little lip in there. So when you like clip it, it actually stays. I think that's really, oh God, that's like a dream magnetic clasp. So, and for this one, let's see, it says here you get a set of 4. In the size, they're 18 millimeters this way and 14 millimeters like tall. But so they're not overly big, and they have a weight to them. So let's see what we have next. So that was the magnetic clasp. And next, oh, these guys are really interesting. Okay, I'm going to see if I can like really show you these things up close. These are lamp work. I don't know how they did this, to tell you the truth. But if you look really close inside, there are these designs. They're like, I mean, some of them have flowers. And look at that. I don't know what that is. It's like a clown. I don't know. Maybe, I have no idea, but I can't believe that people could make these with these designs inside. And they're, let's see, the size is, oh boy. Okay, the hole is about between 1 to 2 millimeter. And I would say these are like in about the 10 millimeter range. I mean, they're not like gigantic, but they're not like overly small either. So, and this comes with 26 pieces in total. So that's the lamp work beads. And then let's see, next we have, oh, the leather. Okay, this leather is really, really nice. And it's thick. Let's see what size it says here. Okay, it's 2 millimeters And you get, let's see, the colors are dark green, light brown, and Pacific. And let's see what else I can tell you about this awesome leather. Oh, you know, one thing I really liked about it is that it was, especially like the darker one, it's very, very supple. It's got a really nice, I mean, the darker one was a little more supple than the brown one. I mean, they're both very supple, but you know, when you work with leather so much, I mean, you notice like every like variant in the way it feels, but they're both really nice, a 2 millimeter. And the interesting thing, which is going to be the next item that we talk about, which are these end caps. You know, I'm always like, I don't like end caps, but these are like actually decent. These work. The trick is, I know that like on some of the leather, which I'll show it in a little bit, but sometimes, you know, when you try putting an end cap in, sometimes, see this one, it's a very close fit and it will go in, but I've got like a couple of tips and tricks on how to make it like actually like go in all the way. So I'll be showing that later in the show. But those are all the products aside from, you know, the Knotty-Do-It-All, which is this fantastic cord knotting and design tool. And we do have 2 sizes available, which is our large and our small. I'm going to talk about the boards like during the show so you can like actually get to see them and see how I use it. But you get so much, there are so many lessons. I mean, every week I make a new JTV Extra live show. So, and there's always something new. But anyway, those are all the items on today's show. You know, I think the best way to describe, I have 2 thoughts or 3 thoughts crossing my mind all at the same time. You guys are really funny. I'm reading the comments and I'm just like getting a chuckle because I see a lot of the misspellings and what you write actually sounds funny, but I just love that because it just makes everything just like so much more hilarious. But back to the board, the way I could describe it, honestly, the best description is like a Swiss Army pocket knife. You know how you have one tool, but it just like wham, it's just like multifunctional. So this tool, I kid you not, that's exactly what it's like because you can like reconfigure the hardware in so many different ways. It's just like, you know, with a snap of a finger, you want to like change from one technique to the other. You just like change the hardware and it just makes it so fast and so easy. And like one customer like explained like in last week's show, it's just so much nicer because you can get your hands underneath your work, like as opposed to like trying to work off of okay, I've seen people use pillows, clipboards, but when you're using things like that, it is like almost impossible to get good tension, measurement, and plus get your hands underneath your work so that you can get like more professional results and just get it done like faster, which, you know, in today's age, you know, everything is just getting much faster. And if you're going to make jewelry, especially to sell it, you need to get it made as quickly as possible. And with that said, I want to show you some of the really cool things that people sent in today because I am just like astounded. Okay, first from the beautiful state of Florida, we have Laura Lee. Oh my goodness, I love the red, the black, especially with the hot pink. And she was telling me that she ran out of cord, but I don't see where, but she did a really good job. And I like the detail, like, I know that on the lesson that I did, I think I had like the wire wrap beads along the entire thing. I just like how, you know, Laura Lee, you just like did it on part of it, and then the on the ends on one side you have the macrame beads on the outside, but they're different beads. Nice touch. And let's see, next we have Sabine, all the way from Germany. My goodness, look at this, is really cute. This is interesting because I like how the it's got the regular cord, but then it's got those twisted ends. That's really cool, and it's got the I don't know, those spacer beads that have that really unique, like a bronze shape. I love this bracelet. I really like the color combination. I mean, it's just something I would totally like wear. Love it. Then next, again, we have another one from Sabine. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Ah, it's dainty, but it's got like a lot going on. Let's see. It's got the macrame, and it's got 2 strands of knotted beads. On some of them, there's spacing, and then some of the knots are stacked. And then it's got a clasp, and oh, just look at the macrame binding knots on the end. This is so cute, and I love that little elephant. Very, very nice. And the color combination is just, it's perfect. And next we have Sarah from North Carolina. Oh, when I saw this, I just thought, oh, those beads. I have some beads that are very similar to this, and I think, you know what? This is what I'm going to do with those. Stunning. It's got the copper, the light copper, and then I think as the cord, it's a waxed cord. Um, Great color combination, Sarah. Love it, love it, love it. And let's see, Sabine from Germany. Ooh, here's another really cute one. Look at that little detail, that little fluffy tassel there. And I think this is the loop up technique. And I know I mentioned it before, but I like that twisted like end because I've done that sometimes, and I know that it can be, a little tricky, especially keeping attention on the ends exactly the same. So very nice. Oh, I just love it. And Sarah from North Carolina. I was really curious as to the size of that button because it looks big to me, but it could be smaller because I know that if you have a big button, then you need a bigger loop. But the cool thing about this is that it could actually be the focal part of the bracelet, like the front part of it. So they're very, very nice. And then there's another one by Sarah towards the end that I've got questions about. And Sabine from Germany. Oh, look at these. Look how dainty and cool these are. Oh my God. I just love that bead in the middle. It's so glowy. And these beads look like the same ones from the other bracelet, but just different. Oh, look at that. Very nice. And Sarah, North Carolina. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Okay, so you've got the macrame and wow. Okay, so it's got the beads on the outside of the beads in the middle, if I'm even saying that right. This is really cute, and I love the black with the hot pink. Um, wow, this is so pretty. Guys, check it out. One of these days I'll do a lesson. Unless you guys could probably figure it out, having the beads on the outside. I might have done a lesson on that, but I don't know. But this is very, very nice. So thank you, Sarah. Very cool. And Sabine from Germany, this reminds me of a bracelet that Adair did a few months back where you could do a multi-strand with, you don't have to use just one color. You can use like 3 or 4 colors or 5 colors at the same time. And I can see that is what Sabine did here. And it's so pretty. In the way these are made, they will last a long time because they don't have those raw ends. It's because of the multi-strand, you actually have those closed ends, which are really important when you have a bracelet that you want to last. So very, very nice. And I like that little touch of like gold in there. Beautiful. And next, ooh, another one from Sarah, North Carolina. Same style, different color combination. I love the red and the beige. Ooh, it reminds me of like chili peppers. Very nice. I want to keep looking at this. So let's see, the core part is red and the gold on the outside, and then the wire wrap beads, and then the macrame slide knot. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And Sabine from Germany. Okay, this one's cool. Oh my goodness, look at the 2 ends are just completely different colors. And then you got macrame on one side, and then you got the loop up technique on the other. You got the little tassel, that cute little heart, and just check it out, guys. Isn't that just like really cool? That's one thing, I like about the things that you guys send in. It blows my mind. I'm always astounded to see what you guys make. And okay, Sarah, North Carolina. For this one, I have questions. I want to know how you got the button on there. And this one, okay, when I saw this picture, I was like, okay, the button is not on the end. So my question is, how did you get that button on? My guess is it's incorporated into the macrame part. I don't know. I could be wrong because I cannot tell, but this one really had me like mesmerized because I couldn't figure out how that button got on there without I don't know, unless it's got a gigantic shank. So I'm going to leave it up to you. Hopefully you are joining the show today so you can like leave it in the comments. Anyway, guys, that is it for today. And remember, if you have anything you'd like to send in, I'd love to show it on our show because you guys are just spectacular. You can email your pictures to me at the Knotty-Do-It-All@gmail.com. Right? You're wondering, like, how did she get that button on? So I'm going to be waiting in the comments to see what Sarah says because I'm just like, I kept trying to figure it out. I thought, okay, maybe she attached it to the end of the macrame. I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see if she shares her secret with us today. But wasn't that like the customer show just fantastic? You guys are just so talented. Every time I get entries from you guys, I'm just like, oh my gosh, you guys are just like the best. Okay, so we're going to get started with today's project, which is the Moose Knot Gone Wild. And this is, like I said, it's simple because it's very repetitive, but I got some really cool tips and tricks. And it mostly has to deal with these knots in the middle. Okay, because this is like, you have this part, which is the necklace, and then these little dangle parts are added on. See these? Okay. You're not going to believe this, guys. This is crazy. The leather for just this part, these little guys, 138 inches of leather because I made this thing over so many times and I thought, why does I keep coming up short on the leather? And that was the deal because I just wasn't measuring correctly. And so for each one, let me tell you what happened and how I solved it. So this little tip that I have might be able to help you with maybe other future projects. So I kind of estimated the amount of leather that I would need, which was about, give or take, 18 inches. And when I say take, that means that on the take part, I ended up coming up way too short and I had to do all these like horrible things to get the knots on. So, and then if I did them all like 20 inches for each segment, I was wasting a lot of leather. Okay, so I came up with a way that you do get waste. However, the waste is useful because it ends up in like at least an 18 to 20 inch piece of leather that can be used for something else. Okay, so I'm going to show you what the trick is. Okay, so let's put this aside and okay, so let me get this. Oh, and one thing, just 1 second. I just want to let you know that this show, this tutorial is under Knotty Lessons. It's called Moose Knot Gone Wild. And so if I do not get to finish today, or if you want a refresher, you can find the lesson there. Okay, so 138 inches for the pearl dangles. Okay, for the necklace part right here, you'll need 52 inches. And then 12 inches for the coil knots, which you'll be dividing that in half, so you get 6 and 6. Okay, so let me tell you what I did. Okay, I'm going to put this aside, put this here. Okay, this is not 138 inches because since I made so many, I like literally ran out of like leather, but we're going to pretend like it is. So let me get these guys here. So this is what I did. I started from the middle of my 138 inches, I folded in half, you get your cord, and then I offset it by 5 inches, okay? So this top part is, we're going to make like a moose knot with all that cord. And the first one that we make will become one of these guys. So what I do here is, let me get a peg. I mean, if you run out of pegs, you could always use the base of one of your clips. So, I mean, not that you'll run out of them. It's just, mine are always like hiding from me. Okay, so I'm going to make a moose knot. And for this one, the moose knot's on top. I did like a 3 wrap because I wanted a super chunky look. So there's 1, there's 2, and then the third one. Hold it. You get the end. And I think, unless you're new to this, I think you know how to do a moose knot. Because that's one of my, I think it's one of the first knots that I teach. So you tighten it, just pull it down, just make sure it's super, super nice and snug. Let's see. And then we're gonna like tighten. Okay, now this is where things get interesting. Okay, because on these guys here, I have like the two that are in the middle are a little bit longer. Okay, so the deal is I wanted them, let me grab one of these. I wanted it to be a little bit tiered because I didn't want, you know, because I didn't want them all to be the same length. So see how you've got a little bit longer in the middle, and then it kind of gets graduated towards the sides. I mean, it doesn't have to be like 100% like perfect, but just, you know, a little bit like to where it's longer in the middle part. Okay, so we're gonna make 2 of those. But when you're using your leather, like I'm using it, we're going to make the longer ones first. So what I do is I make the moose knot, and then like anywhere on the board, like I'll measure like right here. Okay, so about 1 inch right there. So I'm gonna clip that. And then this side here, see I have another clip just hanging around. And I'm just gonna clip that in there just to hold it so it keeps it like out of the way. And then over here, I'm gonna come in and do like a, I don't know, I guess it's like that ribbon look, and then, but not twice, because for these knots on the side, I'm just doing like a double wrap knot. And then I'm gonna come through here, feed it through, and like tighten. See, and just kind of squish it and just get it nice and to where it's like snug and until they look stacked and good. See, like that. And then I put my first pearl on. And the pearls I'm using are about a 10 millimeter pearl. And God, I just want to say hi to Joan, Michael, Sarah. Let's see who else we have in the house. Tess Barr. Oh my God, Tess Barr. Chatty, Christy, Deborah Morgan, Prince, Susan, let's see, Judy, Sarah, Sandy from Ohio. Hey, Sandy. Let's see. We have Linda in VA, North Virginia. Is that right? Is there North Virginia? Is that right, Linda? Am I saying that right? Or is that something else? I thought there was a, guys, I don't want to embarrass myself. I thought there was a, I don't know. Sometimes if you ask me all the 50 states, I'll know them, and then now I'm just like trying to think and I can't remember. Okay, so what I did, okay, let me explain what I'm doing. My preferred method, when possible, to make any kind of knot to this side of the pearl is to wrap around like this. Only in like dire circumstances, like if my cord is too short to make this loop, that I do it another way. But this is my preferred because it just gets the knot closer, and you know, let me see if I can explain this a better way. Okay. If you have to make the knot farther apart, you have to pull harder for it to get it up to the pearl. And if you're using a thinner cord, let's say like a 1 millimeter or maybe even a 1.5, and it doesn't have that strength, you could end up breaking the leather. But I don't mind doing it with a 2 millimeter leather because I know it's really, really strong and that it could take that like extra pulling. But I mean, if you're in a situation in which it happened to me yesterday, I didn't have enough cord. I mean, I had enough cord to make the knot, but it's that leverage. You know, I think Laura Lee, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's just, you know, you can finish, but you don't have enough cord to do that part where your hands need to be grabbing. And that happened to me yesterday, and it was awful. So when you get into that situation, you'll have to resort to a different way to like tie the knot. So, okay, so maybe I'll get lucky and it'll happen to me. So see what I'm doing right here? I'm cutting this part off. So this cord here will be used to make the you know, the leftover cord, what I'll do is I'll just keep going back and forth till I have all of these guys made. So what I do on the second part, like it right where like I line it up like right where the pearl is, like this, the middle of the pearl. So I line this up, and right here, that's where I make my next knot. So does everyone follow what I'm doing? So I'm using one gigantic strand and then making one, then going back and making the rest, and boom, 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 boom. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like I don't know what it's like. But the thing is, it really does save you a lot of leather, because the first one I made, I had so much like scrap. I just thought, this is unacceptable. There's got to be a better way to do this. Okay, so I'm going to twist that. I'm going to come out and let's get this through. Okay. Well, you are on the time clock. Ooh, whoa. Am I being like, who's the timekeeper here? Uh-oh, Robin, backup timekeeper. Okay, so there's that one, and then you put the next one on. And one reason, which this is really important, just so you know, in case you don't know, depending on the thickness of your leather, these will change, because this measurement is for 2 millimeter, because if you use a 1 millimeter or a 1.5, you will probably need less leather. But one thing to take into account also is, just because leather says it's 2 millimeter doesn't necessarily mean that it is, because on more occasions than not, the leather can vary, like maybe by like 10 to 15% in either direction. Like maybe it could be 2.15 inches or 1.85. So if you end up with like more or less cord after you know, like followed my directions, and you're wondering like, well, what was she talking about? That is why. Because if you guys have worked with leather for a long time, you will know exactly what I'm talking about, because that, you know, there are tolerances when it comes to leather. And plus, I mean, a lot of it can have to do with like even where you live. If you live in a humid environment, your leather is less likely to like shrink versus if you live in a dry environment. So I mean, I don't know. There's just a whole like host of, you know, things that affect leather. Okay, so there is the first one. And do you guys follow along like how I'm doing this? You know what, Adair? No. Okay, the thing is, with this specific leather, it doesn't. Excuse me. If you're using a coated leather that's like slippery, let me see if I have any coated leather here. And I don't. But that is a very good question, because I know that like Greek leather, for example, you definitely will need to put that glue. And you'll just know, because this is like a natural leather, and it feels got a little bit of traction on it. So, but it, you know, if it makes you feel safer, you know, it's not going to hurt anything to go into, you know, this little section right there and put in a dab of glue. I mean, that's a good question. The less glue used, the better. Yes. Okay. Faux leather needs glue. Faux leather. Yes. Okay. If you're using faux leather, instead of glue, what you can do is fluff the end out, melt it into a ball, and then tap it down, and that will like seal the knot. That's with the faux leather. Yes, you know, a glue is good insurance. Okay, so, and then what I do is I just repeat, and I make 2 of the long ones. And I repeat the same steps, and then I make, you know, 6 of these guys. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. If you don't want 6, let's say you want just 4, like this, then you can get by using 100 inches of leather, because you're making 2 less. And each one of these, let me do can one of you do some math for me? 138 divided by 6. All right. Now we need a math person here because I don't have my calculator and I'm not going to embarrass myself. So 138 divided by 6. Okay, so I'm going to keep going with the lesson. So then for the necklace part, oh, good. Thank you, Robin. 30 minutes. Oh, I'm doing great. Okay, so let's see. We have this here. Okay, where is my... Okay, so we come over here. So 52 inches for the necklace part. Okay, so now... Oh, it's not over yet, Susan. No way. Okay, so now we need 52 inches of leather for the necklace part. So let me see what I got here. Okay, that's nope. Because this is very repetitive. You just make the whole thing. Oh, Sabrina, thank you. 23. Okay, so each of these sections requires about 23 inches of leather. Okay, so I'm going to get my leather here and see if I can get myself 56 inches, 52. Okay, let's see if I can do that. Because I used quite a bit. Okay, that's 36, 46, okay, plus 6. Okay, so here is the 52 inches of leather. Okay, so now to get these guys on, so what I did was this is really cool. I right in the middle, I make my first, I'm going to make a moose knot. So I'm going to get Gina. Oh, I once got an A in math. Ooh, that's funny. Did I ever get an A in math? A couple of times. Okay, so I'm going to offset by 5, and I'm going to make just like pretend like I'm making a regular old moose knot. Because making it this way helps get it centered. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and then I'm going to go through. See, this is actually, it's pretty easy, very straightforward, but it's just those tips and tricks. You're like, oh, okay, that sounds good. I'll take that. So I'm going to come in here, tighten this, and then that one. Oh, and you know those lampwork beads? I was looking at them. I used those in last week's project because I thought those look familiar. Okay, so there's my first knot, and now, you know, since I already had these like knotted off, I'm going to use these. Okay, I'm going to take the long ones, and okay, so if you try to get it on and it's like it's too small, you could just expand it out with anything. So on these I wouldn't put the glue because, you know, you might need to expand them out a bit to get them on the leather. This is kind of cool because I'm going to make this one with like different colored leather. You know, 2 different colors. Let's see how that looks. And then on the other side, let's get the long one. And I'm just going to put it on even though I can do it like later. So I'm just going to get this one on. And there you go. So right in here, we need to make the next coil knot that's going to go in here. So I'm going to clip this as close as I can. See, I'm pulling. And then I'm going to take this here, and then I'm going to wrap 3 times. So there's 1, 2, 3. Is that 3? Yeah. I'm going to hold this and just keep this as stable as possible while you find the end of this leather. You slip that in and pull. And on this one, just take it off gently. We need to scoot this knot down, down, down. And the way to do it is just to kind of like wiggle and tighten. I squeeze like this and then pull. And that helps get it nice and close, like up to this section right there. See that? So now here we turn around and then we do the same thing on this side. So you just want to keep going back and forth because obviously you don't want to like do it all on this side because then you'll have this whole like side here and it won't be even. So Just clip this in as close as possible and repeat the steps. So I'm just going to go like quickly. And I think this project, you know, once you're like, you got it down and you're super fast, it should take about maybe, you know, a little under an hour to make. This is probably, honestly, one of the more, I don't know, labor intensive, but it's fun though. I mean, because I've made like 3 of them. See, I've got 3 of them here, like boom, 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 like. And I just, for some reason, I really, really enjoyed it. It was just, I don't know. I really like working with leather and pearls. And interesting, you know, at one of the major jewelry shows that just happened, you know, they give the industry, like whatever, I don't know what it's called, like the predictions and, you know, all that good stuff. I don't know, guys, I don't know the terminology. What is it called when, you know, fashion designers come together and they talk about what is going to be like happening in fashion? Well, pearls were definitely on the radar. There's squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Okay, good, it's coming along. And then we have this one here, and then this one. I'm going to kind of like speed it up because it's the end part that I think is really, really cool. Uh-oh, is that the end part? Are you serious? Did I do something wrong? Okay, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Something's wrong. Okay, let me see what I'm doing. Okay, I could tell by the sides. Okay, so I need to put one on this side. All right. But you know, if you want to make it like put like a smaller bundle in the middle, you could totally do that. But this is just like for extreme. Let's see, 1, 2, and bring it around. Did that make the oyster happy or sad? I don't know. I got to check up on what you guys are talking about. I go against fashion trend only to have it become Isn't that funny? Prince 5775. Yep. You think, okay, I'm not going to follow the trend. I'm going to do something different, and then a year later, it's in vogue. I don't know how that or why that happened. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm missing one of the. Oh, there it is. I was like, I knew that there was an extra one. Okay, so you put the last one on. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so we're gonna put this on. Okay, now we have a trend. Yes, that's it, Robin. Thank you. Ooh, girl, you are like right on top of it. Okay, so now we don't put the coil knots on the ends here. You could, let's say you're just gonna make it like a single, like strand. 1 second. Okay, let's go here. Okay, the green will, you know what, the green's not gonna show up. It's gonna show up as white, but it's actually green. The, if you wanna make it like a single, you can do that. Let's make this here. But in this case, I'm doubling it. And the way I get that coil knot on the end, what I do is this. This is crazy. Okay, so I'll leave it up to you guys. I'm going to sit here and wait for a clasp. Should I do a button or should I do a regular clasp on this one? You tell me. I'm going to wait. I think I know what the majority of you guys are going to say, but I'm just going to go with today's flow and see what you guys tell me. Pearl, oh, button. Oh my goodness, girl, I don't have any buttons. I got the pearl, so I'm going to have to do the pearl. No button. Button. Okay, I'm going to guess that you guys are like referring to the pearl as the button. Okay, I'm just gonna, okay, thank you, Tess. Okay, I was like, that wasn't an option, guys. I did not say button, but I love it anyway. Okay, so I'm going to put a pearl on, and I'm going to pretend like it's a button, because that's kind of sort of what it is. So 5 inches, put it in the fold, just like this. But I think most meant the pearl. Yes, right, Prince? Okay, so I'm going to clip this in here. And, okay, I'm going to like get those on the best way that you can. Let's see. Because this one's a little bit like, let's get this twisty, twisty. Okay. This thing is, maybe if we do it sideways like this, just to get it into the grip of that alligator jaw. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and make a moose knot. 1, 2. And if it comes up too short, which it is, can we do that? No, you know what? I need a little extra wiggle room. So I'm going to just slide a little bit extra and then clip it. Okay, so I'm going to come in here. Now I'm going to try this. All right, perfect. Put this through here. Okay, put this on there and like pull the and then for the moose knots, one thing that helps is just like putting your fingers like right up here and then pulling it down. It just gives it a nicer, see that, all around shape. So I'm going to do this one nice and tight because this is going to be a very important knot. Okay, so we got that one. And now we're going to do this one on this side. So I'm going to measure 5 inches because the other one, it didn't quite make it because it had that pearl in there. We're going to come in here and wrap. We're going to do a regular moose. But we're going to do a little trick. Okay, let me scoop this, grab it, put it in the peg, and tighten, tighten, really tighten. Okay, I'm gonna, for this one, I just want it nice and super snug because like I said, this knot is going to do something. Okay, now we need our GS Hypo Cement and, okay, we're gonna hold this here, and if you pull this side and nothing happens, then pull the other side because we're gonna pull this and pull and pull and pull. Okay, and when we get to the end here, what you're going to do is you're going to take a pair of cuticle scissors because those are like the best for cutting leather. Now, where are mine? Let's see. Oh boy, where'd they go? But you know what? It doesn't matter because I buy them by the dozen. I just buy some really cheap generic cuticle scissors. So there you have it. So what I do is I come in really nice and close. Let's see if we can get that as close as possible and make sure not to nick your leather because that would be a huge problem. Get it super like close like this. And okay, now it's super glued to, forget I said super glue. I did not say that. Okay, so let's take this lid off. Okay, I have oh yeah, this is another tube of of the GS Hypo Cement that I have. And look at that. There's no the needle is gone. That thing, I don't know where it went. It just disappeared. And one thing I found, it works better without that thing. So I kid you not, guys, it works really, really well. So right here, I mean, I know you guys have sent me a bunch of tips and tricks, but this thing just like decided to do its own trick. So right in here, I just squeeze a nice little blob of that glue. See that? And then I slide this knot, whichever, right over it, just like that. And so basically this serves a couple of functions. It gets the knot in, so you have this bend in here, and it acts as the third knot in the sequence. Isn't that like nifty? Okay, so now we're going to come over here and do the same thing. You want to make sure that this knot is really nice and tight. Ooh. Okay, let's get this. Ooh, nice and... Don't sniff this, guys. But I do like the way it smells. I don't know. Let's see what it says. Flammable, do not swallow, vapor harmful. Okay, well, just FYI. Let's see. I'm going to take these here, cut in close. It's like they say, oh, don't sniff this stuff. It's like someone says, oh, don't sniff gasoline, but it just smells so good. I don't know why gasoline smells good. Okay, so now we're going to take this stuff and we're just going to put a nice little blob in there and then tighten, slide it down. Just wham. Okay, now we could put this. This is so much easier just to put this thing back on, and there we go. Done. Perm solution. I know, right? Who else likes the weird smell of stuff? Like stuff that smells weird. It's just inexplicable. Okay, so now this is going to make, it'll be, you could tell by the, let me zoom out here. Whoops. Okay, so this right here, it will be about 17 and a half inches. So if you want it to be longer, what you need to do is this part. So if you want it to be 18, 19 inches for like just whatever, like don't increase, if you want it to be 1 inch longer, you have to increase this by 2 inches. So because you need an inch for like each side. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird. I have a higher sense of smell. Ooh, since you have hearing loss. Oh, that's interesting. So now the last step is like right in here, we're going to put a coil knot here and a coil knot there. So let's scoot this over, zoom in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip it in just because sometimes if you don't have like tension and you put your coil knot on, it comes kind of like this. So you want the leather to be as straight as possible. So I'm just going to kind of pull it a little bit to make sure it's nice and straight, like lift it up, and then bourbon. Tess, bourbon. Bourbon does smell good. Actually, I like that. There was I watched a movie last night. It was called, it was made in 1972. I don't know if any of you guys have even seen it. It's called The Cowboys with John Wayne. And there was some alcoholic drink that they were drinking, and I never heard of it. So if any of you like seen the movie and know what it is, can you let me know? Okay, so I got here 6 inches. I probably should have done 7 because I think I did this yesterday and I concluded that it was 7, but let's try 6. Because there is a trick, because sometimes 6 is all you got. So there's 1, 2, 3. Okay, 6 is good. So you hold it, and if you are going to make it like a quadruple wrap, then you'll definitely need more, because you do, like I said, you need a leverage. Moonshine, okay. Thank you, Michael. Okay, so this is loose. In case you need a refresher, if when you make a coil knot, you don't want to, our house always smells good with candles. Oh, I love candles. I actually make my own candles. I mean, it's do I actually still make them? Well, I did make a lot of them, and then what happened? Yeah, I still make them once in a while because you could just make the most incredible like smelling candles when you make them yourself. Okay, so I'm going to get my GS Hypo Cement wherever you may be, and let's see. And here I'm going to, since I don't have a lot of leverage to like clamp it down, and this is like leather, I'm going to get a couple of pair of anything that like suitable. Okay, these two. So I'm going to come in and put in this loop here, you just want to make it like big enough so that you can get the pearl into. So if you have a smaller pearl, you know, you just make it the size that's suitable. And this is about how much leather I use. It's just like a clump of leather. And ideally, what you want is when you slide your knot over your, like did I say leather? I meant glue. You just like tighten it. And you want to like be able to see the glue kind of like squeeze through. And then you just come in here and just like, you want to make it nice and tight. So I'm going to give it a good grip that way. And I'll hold it this way and then come in here and tighten that way just to get it nice and stacked and just nice and pretty. Thank you, Robin. I think we're doing good on time today. So I'm going to like come in here and trim this part off. Ideally, and I mean in real life, let's just pretend like 15 minutes has passed and I'm trimming it off. I mean, ideally, it's best to wait, but you know. Okay, so on this one, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to like have this. And it doesn't matter if you have your pearl set off a little bit because it's going to, well, is that a, what if you want your pearl to be as close? Okay, I'm going to give you a tip. Let's see if we have space in there. We might have, well, I don't know. Let's try something else. Maybe we can get it into a clip. Okay, let's try that. Let's see if we get that. Nah, I don't know. Will that work? Whoops. Okay, there's got to be a trick. I think if you get like maybe some thin cord in there, let's try that. Let's try our leadered needle thing. That might or might not work. No, there's just not enough space. So we're just going to have to like do this without tips or tricks. But you know what? We'll be able to center it afterwards. So let's just like have faith. Because, okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's do the faith tipper trick. Because sometimes, you know, you just like have a little bit of faith and things work out. In this case, I'm going to show you. Okay, so here's this. I'm going to do my 3 coil. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Stack it. Got it. This end goes in that way. Yeah, I know, right? Me too. That was like probably not a good idea. I mean, sometimes it'll work if you have like a cushy thing. One of these days I'll have to look back in my giant like Bible of tips and tricks that I have because sometimes I write them down and then I forget, but I know that I've got stuff. So let's see, how do we do this? Okay, I'm just going to take this off and center this. And I'm just going to squeeze this together about like there. Okay, and I'm going to put my glue. I know that there's like something, but I'm just not thinking of it right now, but just get your glue in there. Whoops. Whoa. Let's wipe that off. And let's just get that knot. Slide it right over the glue. Just make sure it's like straight, and then you got to pull these guys. And just keep eyeballing this part to make sure that they're like nice and straight, and then just pull. Pull, pull, pull. And then to get it really nice and tight, you could just get your pliers like this, and just give it some like tension. Good Lord, girl, Gina, you know what? It's astounding what's in there. Oh my God. I mean, it's like an endless story. And maybe one of these days I'll do that. You would not believe, because, okay, it kind of goes like this. You know how the Eskimos, I think it's been said that they have over 20 different words for snow because they live in it. They know every nuance. I mean, like everything about it. So it's the same could be said for leather, like Eslon, braided cord. I mean, right when you think you know like a cord inside and out, then you just suddenly notice a different characteristic of it that you really didn't notice before. And that really helps when you're making or designing specific things. I mean, it's insane the things that you learn when you work with stringing materials all the time. And man, with leather, I've got it down. I mean, because I know, you know, the first thing I do the very first thing I do when I get any kind of leather is I get a piece of it and I put it in my hands and I pull it. If I could barely like pull it before it, okay, so there we have it. It's fixed, it's done. So let's zoom out. And there you have it. Isn't that cool? And if you feel like you need to make it smaller, no big deal, but this will hold. See that? It's amazing. And the main reason, I think it's mostly because this is like kind of heavy in front, but that is how the button end ends up looking. So just really cool. And yeah, isn't that really cool? I just love it. An app. Oh, good Lord. An app? I don't know about the app. Maybe, I don't know how to do that. I am not like an app person. And voila. Yeah, and this is how they look. Isn't that amazing? And like I said, oh, and another tip that I have, if you make it, I'm going to show this one, even though it's not going to look green. It's because it is green, because I am working like with a green screen, and anything green is not going to look green. See that? One thing that you could do, like if you put it on and you're like, I want it a little bit shorter. Just like one thing that you could do is like right here, just kind of twist it. And you could put like just an overhand knot right in there. And it doesn't take away from the aesthetic, but it does help to make it a little bit shorter, which is fantastico. And the neat thing about this leather with the knot is that next time if you want it longer, the knot is easy to take out. So I tend to like, let me take this one off. Maybe I'll keep this one on for the rest of the day. Look at that. Oh my God, I love it. Ooh, it looks wild. Oh, I like that. It makes me feel like a wild woman. So let me take this off. All right, world, here she comes. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Oh, I like it. Now I need some like matching, I mean, these earrings are a little more subtle, but I think with some matching earrings, it would look fantastic. Isn't that like great? So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson today. And remember, you know, even though I did not use the clasps on today's show, they are fantastic. They're very strong, very well made. And they've got the 3 holes, which is great for like a 3-tiered. And the glass, the lampwork beads, I did use those in last week's macrame project, the one with my weird voice, which is funny because it occurred because of a dreaded software update, because I needed to update a program, and I do not like, hit the heart button if you do not like updates because they cause more trouble than they're worth. Let's see, and don't forget, if you have never purchased anything before, you can earn $40 in Brilliant Cash, and you can use it towards the purchase of Knotty-Do-It-All in the future. Anyway, I think that that is it. I want to thank all of you guys for joining in today's show, and I hope you liked today's project. So let me take one last look at, we got Kathleen. Oh, thank you, Kathleen. Isn't it like so cool, especially with the brown leather? And I'm thinking wearing it with a sundress on the beach, you know, that kind of thing, and just like showing off with your tan and your beautiful shoulders. Anyway, guys, my time is up, and I will see you next Thursday. Bye.